people? 52. No, it's not 52.
It says placement.
51. No, it's 52. Oh, Steve says 1. 51. Steve, like that joke is getting old. Don't you guys think we need like a new joke? It's getting old. See how I freshen up a joke like that? You just have to... Never mind. All right, here we go. Let's talk about... Can we talk about me for a minute? Let's talk about me. I never get the chance to talk about me. No. I'm going to talk about our structure, okay? So we put up six leaders at the very beginning. 6 leaders. They all went diamond and above, okay? After the 6th leader, I remember as a presidential diamond walking into the owner's office and the Goddards were there. I don't even know if they're here today right now. Are the Goddards here? No? Okay. So I can talk about Natalie. No. Just kidding. Walked in the owner's office and the Goddards were sitting there and I was sitting there and I remember we were kind of congratulating each other and we said, and the owners were there, and we said, we have finished the race. This is so amazing. We finished the race, like we became presidential. And I don't think the owners liked that comment at all. They were like, whoa, hold on. We don't want them to feel like they've finished the race. Like, these are some of our top leaders and we want them to stay engaged. And so a little bit later, after a while, they came back with a carrot. It's like this carrot that they dangle in front of us, right? Come on, Allyse, come on. You can keep going, Allyse, you know? And they said, do you know what? The coolest thing? Once you become presidential, we're gonna give you another account. And we're like, you are? Because how many accounts can you have in doTERRA? 1. In fact, even if you do some manipulative stuff, sign up your husband or whatever, they shut it down. You guys know that? So once you become, somebody's like, yes, I do know that. Clear. So once you become presidential, you're giving another account on your front line, and it's like an LLC, right? But it's owned by you. And they say, go ahead and do it again. Go do it again. Go presidential again. And we're like, okay, that's kind of cool, because if you have another account on your front line, watch what happens. If you have 6 more people, you get paid on that volume once, twice. So now, that's what I thought too. So it multiplies, okay? So we went presidential again, and that's what's called double presidential. And lo and behold, when we went double presidential, what do you think the owner said? Hey, Allyse, here's another carrot. They actually gave us another account on the front line of our second account. So now it's like 3 levels down, right? And they go do it again. Go do it again, right? And so we actually built out 6 legs, and a couple of them really struggled. In fact, one, and because this happens, right? One passed away. She was in Taiwan, and she got cancer, and she passed away, and another one had a really big problem. Anyway, so as you build this out, right? And look, can I tell you the cool thing about Power of 3? Check this out. So down here on my 3rd position, if somebody that I enroll is down on this 3rd position, I get 20% fast start, 10%, and 5%. It's awesome! It's awesome! I get all 3 fast starts, right? So I can do some pretty cool fast start programs, right? Pretty cool. Not only that, all of the volume here on my 3rd level, how many times do I get paid on that? 1, 2, I get paid on it 3 times. So my biggest legs, the ones that will potentially have the most volume, where would I want them? Farthest down as possible, you get paid the most on it. In fact, Patrick, we love numbers, and Patrick like plays with numbers. It's like toys for him. And he comes to me and he's like, did you see this? And we're like squealing. We're like weird. We're super weird. Anyway, one day he comes to me and he goes, Allyse, he goes, I just did some numbers and I made some smart assumptions, right? And I made some assumptions and I just wanted to figure out how much money we would make if we were 7 times presidential diamond. Like 7 times, if we actually earned the entire unilevel plan, right? 7 times down. Wouldn't that be awesome? Like super awesome. Okay, this is what Patrick thinks about at night, right? Yet he won't buy business class tickets. Like, what is that? Like, it doesn't even matter if he makes $1 million a year. I will never sit on it. Like, I sometimes walk past you guys that are sitting on business class, and I'm like, that would be so nice. Every once in a while, they upgrade me. So nice. Anyway. It's just because that's who I married. Okay, really quick. Like, we know each other now. Can I be like honest, okay. So when we first got married, so Patrick came from a refugee family. You don't even know poor until, like, they had a stove and they would heat up bricks and put towels around them and stick them in the end of sleeping bags. And when those bricks went cold in Canada, so did they. I mean, that's how they grew up, right? They were very poor. So when we first got married, I came from a background where I wasn't rich at all, but just like middle class, like normal. Here. And he says to me, when we first got married, he goes, you know, Allyse, cheese is really extravagant. I was like, excuse me? And he says, we don't need to purchase cheese, that's really extravagant. And I was like, Patrick, I don't even think I know a recipe without cheese. So for 2 years, I was like, I want to be a really good wife, and like we need to come together, like my values, his values, all that. So for 2 years, I didn't purchase cheese, okay? And my friends, for my birthday and Christmas, would buy huge blocks of cheese and wrap it up and put bows on it. And I'd be like, that's so good, that's amazing, right? So, 2 years. This is a true story. You can't make stuff like this up, right? So 2 years later, I'm driving we got pregnant like 3 weeks after we were married. So 2 years later, we had like 1 baby and 1 on the way already. And I was driving past Chuck E. Cheese. This is what broke me. I'm not kidding. I was driving and I saw this massive sign. It just said Chuck E. Cheese right there. And I was like, I am done. And I pulled into Chuck E. Cheese and I ordered a cheese pizza. And I'm like, from that day forward, I sat down, I'm like, we need to talk. we started eating cheese, yeah. And by the way, when you come to Prague, you Diamond Dashers, don't get nervous. We do have cheese at the hotel. There is cheese there. Yeah. So, I have no idea what I was talking about before I got off the net. Do you guys remember? Who remembers? Numbers! Thank you! Okay. Some of you are not ADHD. Okay, great. No, so you guys are a fun crowd. This is good. Yeah. So if you have 7 levels deep, okay? And notice the 7th level, how many times do you get paid on that volume? 7 times. The entire compensation plan, right? Check this out. Making assumptions, right? We made assumptions that you have to have them platinums, and most platinums go to diamonds. So we made the assumption that they were diamonds, right? So do you know how much money you make in our compensation plan if you're a 7 times presidential diamond? $6 million a month. No. Yeah, that's true. $6 million a month. It's like $72 million a year, right? And I still wouldn't get a business class ticket. Seriously, I wouldn't. I still wouldn't. It's just true. Yeah. So, our compensation plan is immense and it's incredible. But the reason why I tell you that is I want to ask you a question. This is the question. How how do I, having triple people on my lines, right? I have 5 kids, super active in my church. I taught English in the Czech Republic for the last 3 years because my kids were trying to learn the language and it was super hard for them and they needed to see me at school. I have lots going on, right? How do I have time to run a triple organization and you don't even have time to be a silver? How? Like, think about that. How? How do I have time to do that? Well, let me tell you why. It's not because I actually am the smartest. People that know me well know that. It's not because I know the oil's the best. Everybody knows that. And it's also not because I work the hardest. There was a time I think I could give anyone in the company a run for their money. But I think that there might be some people in the audience here that work harder than me. Not last week, mind you. But it's because this. I had an intention. I had a very, very strong intention when we started this business of what I was looking for. And that intention was this. I didn't sign up for doTERRA to become a slave. Did you? No. I also didn't sign up for doTERRA just to become rich. Did you? No, because you could make money anywhere you go. It doesn't have to be doTERRA, does it? But what I wanted, and the reason why I signed up, and I also didn't sign up for doTERRA, as you know from my story at the beginning, for the oils, remember? But what I wanted more than anything else is I wanted time freedom. I wanted time freedom. And usually with time freedom comes financial freedom. So for me, if somebody gave me the choice between financial freedom and time freedom, I would choose time freedom every single time. Every time I would choose it. And so my intention was, I am going to set up this business and this company with my husband, who is brilliant, right? But a little bit strange with some things, which we've had to get over. Still not, obviously I'm still holding on to some emotion about it. But we wanted time freedom. So every move we made, every placement we decided on was with that one thing in mind. Will this give us time freedom long term? And if it didn't, we didn't do it. We didn't do it. Now, were we perfect with this? No, we weren't. Did we make some mistakes? Absolutely. Does doTERRA have a system so great that it allows you to overcome them? Absolutely, right? Absolutely. But that was our intention, time freedom. And as we go on today, you're going to find out why I have the time to do what I do and still build and still find new leaders and still do all the things that we've been wanting to do. Our dream was that one day we'd have a school in the Czech Republic and that we'd teach kids there about the principles of happiness. And that school opens up this summer. This summer it opens up, right? So doTERRA allows us to do incredible things like bless people's lives and heal and make people financially free. And it allows us to do what we came to this earth to do. It's so cool. But first, we have to put our mask on first, like what they say in the airplanes before you put, I always thought that was super rude. Like, I would always put my kid's mask on first, but when it comes to doTERRA, right, you've got to be financially free first before you can help anyone else. Isn't that true?
Yes. Yes.
So true. I once had this person come up to me, and she came up to me like, she was kind of disgusted. She looked at me just disgusted. And she said to me, when's enough, Allyse? That's what she said. She goes, when is enough? And then she looked at me and she said, I choose to worry about blessing people's lives. That's what she said to me. First I wanted to just slap her, but I didn't. I was like, Isn't that rude? Like, who says that? I get that you say that on social media now, but in person, like, who says that, right? So anyway, I looked at her and I said, can I tell you a story? This is one of my finer patient moments, by the way. They don't come very few. They come few and far between, and that's why I'm talking about it on stage. There's not many of them. But I looked at her and I said, can I tell you a story? And she's disgustingly kind of like, sure. And I said, you know, a few years ago we did something called Diabetes Week. Dr. Hill didn't like the topic, but we still did it. And he didn't like it because it was, well, because we call it Diabetes Week. It was kind of, in fact, he told me not to do it, and I still did it. Anyway, so we set it up in Hawaii, right? And we actually called a hospital in Hawaii, and we asked them if we could use a wing of their hospital for a week. It was Shriners Hospital, so they're way more open to natural things, and they told us yes. They did. They told us yes. And some of my Hawaii team that was at that. Where's my Hawaii team? Are you guys here? Yeah. Do you guys remember Diabetes Week? Yeah, way back in the beginning. So anyway, what we did is we said, okay, we're going to set up and we're going to have all these helpers come in, and anybody that has diabetes in Oahu can come for free and get oils for free and massages that specifically help with diabetes. And it was like all day long, 9 to 5. And we would they'd have to come every day and get the oils, and we'd test them. We would actually test their sugar levels, okay? By the end of the week, literally miracles happened. Miracles happened. Like a man he was scheduled for amputation, didn't get his legs amputated. Miracles happened. It was incredible, right? So many people had incredibly high levels, and we were able to bring them down to 120, 130, 150. I mean, it was incredible. Some of the doctors came and said, can I get in on this? Will you give me some massages? We're like, would you have diabetes? No, but that looks like it feels good. And I'm like, well, it's kind of for a different purpose, but sure, sit down, right? Anyway, we did this whole thing. That cost tens of thousands of dollars for me, and I did it out of my own pocket. And I looked at her and I said, you know what happens when you choose to build a really successful doTERRA business? You get to bless tens of thousands of people. Right? And she kind of walked away. Anyway, sidetracked. Here we go. So, what I was looking for to give time freedom, and financial freedom always usually comes with time freedom, unless you just move away and you're in a cave and then you have all the time freedom you want. But I was looking for two things. I was looking for people who were self-reliant, that in time could run their own businesses, that wouldn't need my help, that I didn't have to drag along, that I could just train so they could become their own leaders. Isn't that what you want?
Yes.
Right? So they could become their own leaders. Because I figured if they could become their own leaders, I would get time freedom. And even if it took me years and years to do this, that's what I'm looking for. That's my goal. Now, we all know there's 3 types of people that enroll with doTERRA, right? There's product users, there's sharers, and there's builders. This is very clear to us. We know about this. So the question is, how do we identify which type they are? And as we go through this process, you're going to be able to identify earlier. If you could identify earlier which type they are, would you not make better decisions? Right? You'd make better decisions. So first, we're just going to talk about different types of builders. Different types of builders, okay? And not all builders are created equally. We know this in this room, right?